Hi, in this video I will discuss how to achieve a set level PNL on Tradetron. So before getting into this video, you need to know that on Tradetron we do not save the data of each trade on a set level basis. Thus, one particular keyword for a set level PNL will not be possible just like the way you do for your for the PNL using the PNL keyword. So in order to achieve a set level PNL, there's a small process that we will have to do, and using that process we will be able to simulate a set level PNL by using multiple different keywords. Also, this process is not universally applicable. There are various situations in which this kind of a process will not work. So without wasting any more time, let's get into it. I have already made a strategy where I have two different sets. My set one is basically my hedge set. So I basically use this this set to buy into my hedges, which would be my call hedge of 10 rupees and my put hedge for 10 rupees. Now you will see I have a set 2. Now my set 2 has an entry condition similar to my set 1. All I'm doing is that I am checking for my position detail of all the sell entries to be 0. If in case that happens, I'm taking a short straddle at ATM. So basically at 9:21, I'm shorting the ATM call and put. Now I have one repair once condition. My repair once is quite straightforward. It's basically checking for a 50-point move in that particular option price. If that 50-point move happens, in that case I will buy I will buy one strike price above or below the call option that I had sold, and vice versa in put. So in case my put stop loss gets hit, I will buy one strike price below the put strike price that I have sold. So this is my current setup. Now I want to generate a PNL on a set level only for my set 2. So the strategy should be able to ignore the hedges entry, and it should only generate the PNL for my second set, which is my set 2 that I'm seeing. Now, in order to generate the set level PNL, we will use a keyword which is called which is a quite regularly used keyword called traded instrument. So in traded instrument, I will basically use the field of PNL, and using the PNL field, I will modify some things in order to achieve my set level PNL. So before actually going about using the keyword, let's first see all the different kinds of situations that are possible. So it is important that you first note all the different situations. Only then you will be able to generate the right PNLs at the right time. You'll also have to check which situation is currently going on. So in my strategy, I have my set 2, wherein I have one entry and I have one repair once, which is 2-1-1, and I have another repair once, which is 2-1-2. Now, the different combinations that are possible out here, all the various permutation and combinations possible, are that only my entry has been executed and no repair is executed. That is my first possibility. Second possibility is, and this is in the same set, in my set 2 only. Second possibility is that my entry has happened and my repair once number 1 has happened. So this first repair once has been triggered. So I will basically have 3 open positions. One will be my ATM short straddle, and I have my repair once, which is my buy that has been triggered. Second possibility is that my entry happens along with my repair once 2-1-2, which is the second. Sorry, this should be repair once 2-2-1. My second repair once happens. So in this situation, I will basically check for my entry traded instruments, and I will check for my repair once 2-1. And my fourth situation is that my entry happens, repair once 1 also happens, and repair once 2 also happens. So this is my fourth situation. Now, keeping these four situations in mind, let's first generate a mechanism in my exit condition that will be able to identify which situation is currently going on. So I will go to my exit condition, and in my exit condition, I will basically make 4 groups. These 4 groups are the different possibilities that are possible. Now, in my condition, I will first use get run time, and I will basically look for a variable. Now at the time of entry, I know that I will generate a variable using my runtime variable called uh, S2E, and I will basically want to check if my S2E is equal to number 1. Now using this S2E variable, I'll be able to make sure that only my situation 1 is currently active, that only my entry has happened. Now in order to now check my PNL, set level PNL, to keep things simple, I'm just making sure that my exit happens once I have a profit of 500 rupees. You can add multiple different multiple different PNLs as well. That doesn't really affect this method, but only to make this video short, I have used a profit of 500. Um, Now I will use traded instrument, and I'll select entry. I'll select PNL in my field. I'll select my underlying as Nifty 50. I'll select set to condition 1 like 1. So if my I'll also now add this because in my set 2 I have 2 trades that are happening. So again I will copy the same thing and I'll paste it, and I'll select my leg number 2. Now I will check if this entire thing is greater than number 500. You can also check for a number like this traded instrument plus traded instrument is less than minus 250 or whatever. So something like that can definitely be done. And on top, this entire condition will be an OR condition. So now that I have my first condition built, I will save this and I will close this. Now let's go to the runtime data. So in my runtime variable, I will now generate my variable called S2E. So the process that is followed is that first your entry conditions are checked, then the position is traded. After the position is traded, your runtime variable is generated. So I'll just quickly make my variable name called S2E, and I'll select a value as number 1. This will make sure that my condition can only be true once my entry has been traded and not before that. Now I'll go to my second possibility, entry plus repair once 211. So in order to check for that, I will now go to my second group that I have made. I'll add a condition, and here I'll use get runtime, and I will use S2R1. Alright. Now using this, I will make sure that repair once 1 has executed, and I'll again check if this is equal to number 1. Now in here I will again check the same thing. So I'll use traded instrument plus my second traded instrument that I have built here, plus, since I know that at this point my repair once 211 has been traded, I will basically use traded instrument again, and within my traded instrument I'll select repair once, again PNL, and underlying will be Nifty, set to condition 1 like 1, and now okay, and now this is greater than number, and I'll select 500 out here. Now I have successfully done it for my combination number 2. Now I'll quickly go and submit this, and then I'll generate my runtime variable for this. So I'll go again to my runtime variable, and out here the variable name was S2R1, and do note that this is case and space sensitive, so you need to be very careful about what you are using out here. So I'll make my runtime variable and I will save this. Now I'll do one more step out here. In here, in my variable name, go I'll basically make the variable name S2E as number 0. By doing this, so if you notice, S to E was not being checked anywhere in my condition. I am just making this S to E as number 0 just to make sure that after my repair once number 1 happens, my entry shouldn't be able to check for conditions. It should only be able to check for conditions of S to R1. So I'll use this in my runtime variable. Now I have successfully completed my combination number 2. Now I'll go to the combination number 3, which is entry plus repair once 2 to 1. So in order to do that, again I'll go to exit. Now I'll make my third one, and in here I'll again have a similar runtime variable uh, that I will call as S2R2, and this is just so that I know that my repair once 2 has occurred, is equal to number, and I'll select 1. Now again I will do the same thing. I'll use traded instrument plus traded instrument plus repair once with traded instrument, and in here I will make a change where my condition number will become 2 because I'm looking at the second repair once, and I'll select OK, and is greater than, and I'll select number, now 500. So now I have completed my combination number 3. So I'll again submit this and I will close this. Now I will go to my runtime variable for my repair once number, my second repair once, and out here again I will first make my S2R2 variable, and I'll assign a value of number 1 to it, and I'll save this. After this I'll again go to S2E, which was my variable for entry. I don't want my combination number 1 to be checking again, so I'll use S2E as a variable name and number 0 to basically purge my variable. I do not want my variable to interfere with my current setup. And then after that I will close this. Now I'm done. Now last possibility is that entry with repair 1 and repair 2 both. So in order to do this, I will now check something different where I'll use get runtime 2 times. So I'll use S2R1 is equal to number 1. This is basically because my variable name S2R2, R1 is being generated when my combination 1 happens, and I will also check using my get runtime that S2R2 is equal to number 1. So this way I am making sure that both my repair once 1 and repair once 2 have been executed. Now I'll again quickly add my traded instrument keywords just as I had done it previously, and out here instead of 1 repair once with traded instrument, I will add 2 of them. So I'll add one more addition sign, and I will add my second repair traded instrument with repair once is greater than number 500. Now you need to make sure that whenever you use this method, you always need to multiply this by the multiplier. So this is something that I had missed earlier. So I'll quickly add my multiplied by multiplier everywhere. And by doing this, I have achieved my set level PNL. So using this, you can basically figure out all your permutation combinations. After figuring out your permutation and combinations, you can basically assume when any particular combination is going to be true, and then based on that you can get your exit conditions to be checked for the same. um, Now, one important thing would be that when my exit happens, it is possible that my strategy may want to take a re-entry again. So in that case, you always need to go to the runtime variable of your exit condition, and you need to kill all your variables. In order to kill all your variables, you can just call in all the variables that you had generated. So I had generated S2E, and I had assigned a value of number 1 to it. So I will call it a number 0. Now I'll submit it. I'll save it. Similarly, I'll use S2R1 and assign a value of number 0 again to this. Now I'll again do the same for S2R2 and I'll assign a value of number 0 to this as well. So this way I have basically killed all the variables that I had generated. So now once my exit happens out here, your my strategy will again start to check my entry conditions. Again, when my entry conditions are true, it will take a trade accordingly as per the required condition logic. And when my runtime when my entry trade happens and my repair once conditions are checked, my runtime variables will accordingly be checked as per normally again. So this way you can hack your way into building a set level PNL. One thing you also need to note that when you are using traded instrument keyword out here, when you're using traded instrument PNL out here with let's say 211 and 212 and so on, you need to remember that the system is not able to identify if your traded instrument has been squared off or not. So let's assume you are using this strategy where let's say your repair once is squaring off your entry condition trade. In that case, you need to make sure that you are adding traded instrument entry with traded instrument repair. By doing this, you are basically summing up the PNL of the instrument of a buy trade and the PNL of a sell trade. Therefore, the same gets cancelled out, and you get the net PNL in return. So this is a very important thing that you need to remember. You can now add whatever conditions you need in your universal exit condition, which generally is of time or something like that. And based on that, your universal exit will be triggered. So that's it for this video. If you need any other topics that you want us to cover, feel free to drop it in the comments section below, and like, comment, and subscribe to this video. It helps us a lot in the long run. Thank you very much.